want to follow. Yeah, so right now, flat. So now you get it in there.
I was interested to see how much paint we can remove. Pretty sure I went through the clear here, and here on the wet sanding with 1500 grit. It's kind of fun to blow through some paint and see what happens. So I mean, I sat here and grinded on this for what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, you were working it for a pretty long time.
Yeah, it doesn't look any freaking different. Although, you know, you can still see the orange peel here where I flattened this out very well. Now I haven't finished it yet, but I'm going to do another pass. See if we can get this out.
You're gonna magically fill in clear with the rotary?
Yeah, I'm just going to move some clear from the bottom here and just push it up to the top. Fixed. Kidding, it's not.
Except for right there.
Once the paint's gone, it doesn't come back. Alright, let's finish it.
When you're going with an edge, you want it turning off the edge.
So it goes that way, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be coming this way.
Yeah.
And then when I do regular, ready to go in the direction, this way and out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I always stop when it comes back to the
Looks better than it did this morning.
No, I mean I haven't, like, in seriousness, I just wanted to see what happened to me sand the crap out of it.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why you burned it.
Well, you told me to sand the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm just following orders.
That's what we're here for. It's better to learn on this than you are your own car.
Yeah.
So here you actually need more compounding.
Okay.
You haven't actually compounded.
Yeah, I don't even think I got that in there.
No.
What is this? This is the
Polish.
I wanted to leave some, so the next person would have
The
something.
next person we have brand new scrap rubber. You're the only one that will touch this hood.
Well,
Just half of the hood.
Yeah, Mac was saying he would come in and play with them later.
Well, he puts PPF on it.
PPF and coating.
Yeah.
well, coating will already be on there by the time you're done.
Yeah, by the time you leave tomorrow, it'll have Optico Pro Plus on it.
I got guys coming in Monday, they'll let you start putting PPF on.
No. The pad is so soft that it's very easy to go off tilted.
Yeah, it's my curse. I'm incapable of staying flat. I think like my equilibrium's off.
Silver, you can see your reflection in.
Interesting. I feel like our wet sanding, I don't know, I just feel like the metallic doesn't
Like usual? No, we do
doesn't pop as much, but maybe that's just a lack of
You don't have to go
orange
so high on speed,
Yeah.
speed on
peel.
one.
I mean, there's still orange peel there, obviously.
Well, no, when I clean it. When you clean it, you can do one.
Is it a lot less?
Clean
And
it,
with
then
a silver like this,
speed it up.
Mhm.
Of course.
you actually get more effective with weight and metallic with the orange peel than you do without.
You'll see
With a
it.
solid color, removing the orange peel gives it more depth, more gloss. With a metallic, especially a heavy metallic like this, you actually lose a bit when you remove
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at the one behind us, which is a pearl paint,
I mean, better than
you actually
this,
get
a lot
more gloss where they
Well,
wet
we'll
sand
get
it
there.
as opposed to where they just polish.
Yeah. So can you rotary these?
You can, they're extremely aggressive.
Oh, they could.
No, try it. You're here to experiment.
It's kind of fancy. Is my pad flat? Because I feel like I'm perfectly flat.
That's fine.
See, there's something off in my brain, I'm telling you. Because I watch myself back on film and I'm like concentrating on being flat the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm always like this.
Yeah.
This hand, just hold the cord.
How much like
Machine will naturally stay flat for itself. Even then you manage to get it up on there.
I don't understand. I'm not doing anything.
Now you're flat. Now you're back up on it.
I'm not even doing anything. I've got to turn it on. Telling you, it's been the focus of my life. It's flat, and I can't freaking do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rotaried out. The rotary almost novice by now. So my second day, I always end up getting product crazy. Start to figure it out. When I went to Auto Geek, it was the same thing. Everybody's worried about polishing. I was worried about products. Guess it goes to show how much of a poser detailer I really am when I care about the gear more than actually using it. Same thing at Esoteric. I was more interested in the shelves full of stuff than I was using it. This is where all the magic happens back here. I don't know why I like gallons so much. I like to see gallons of extra product on the shelves. I think it's symbolic of like I made it or something like that. Like I could afford to spend 25 bucks on a gallon of product to have extra, more than I need. When you guys know what I'm talking about.
We're going to use Paint Prep, which is a solvent-based product. Wax and grease remover.
So as far as an order, if you're doing this and like an Opticoat, which one would you do first? Does it matter? Or?
Doesn't really matter. But if you're going to be doing this, polish, as you're polishing the car, polish the glass as well.
Right.
OptiGlass Pro. It's a very reactive product, so you don't want to sit here and spray from there to there. By the time it gets there, it's half cured. You don't want to spray it on here and then answer the phone. You want to spray it on and immediately go to the glass. So you do about a 8 to 10 inch wide swath, lots of pressure. Make sure you get everything covered. Spray again. Do the next one down.
How many sprays are you doing?
4 or 5. And then just
Even it out?
yeah. So a little bit more speed and a little bit more pressure. This is the only product where we actually have to work.
Do you go back over it again just to make sure you got everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then with the consumer version OptiGlass, we do about 5 minutes. Wipe off the high spots. With the current version of OptiGlass Pro, same thing. You wait about 5 minutes. Wipe off the high spots.
Do you recommend
something later.
do you recommend putting it on the wipers?
On the rubber of the wipers itself?
Yeah.
Not at all. It's not gonna do anything on the wipers. It bonds to glass. It doesn't bond to rubber.
Gotcha.
How much pressure are you using right now?
Relatively none. Just regular glass cleaning.
So there's no way he's taking it off?
No.
Okay.
And what's the life expectancy of it on the vehicle?
Once again, it's a maintenance dependent product.
Okay.
So the customer that drives in the rainstorm, as soon as it starts to rain, turns the windshield wiper fluid on, cleans the road oils that accumulate on the glass off off the coating, make that the first surface that the water hits, and then turns the wipers off. It'll last 40,000 miles.
Okay.
But the person that keeps the wipers going and going and going,
Right.
they'll eventually wear it off.
Gotcha.
So it's how.
All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to compare wax, keep touching it, wax, Opticoat Pro, I should say, or Pro Plus, and then regular Opticoat. I just want to compare what it looks like. All right, so here's the plan. I'm gonna do, in this section here, I'm gonna do OptiSeal, wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and top it with a wax. So with a spray of Optimum Car Wax, which is a spray wax. On this section, I'm gonna do OptiSeal only. This is gonna be Pro Plus. This is gonna be Gloss Coat, which I'm cheating a little because I didn't correct this area as well as I did here. And so I'm gonna lay on the OptiSeal first. OptiSeal, I'll just spray. I could, like, if I was washing the car, right, I could just spray it and then wipe it, right, if I was drying it in here. Just one spray? One spray? I like circles. Am I wrong to like circles?
Circles are the way to go.
It's just better coverage.
Yeah, more even coverage.
Yeah.
Use less product and less chance of high spots.
Yeah.
Every time you stop and start is where you have a high spot. Whoa,
So now-
that's enough.
Now, do I wipe it off or leave it on?
It's going to cross-link into the paint,
Okay.
and if you have a high spot, that is when you're going to wipe it off. So the high spot, we got one here. Don't know if you can see it with the camera. There, caught one there in the light. So it looks like an oil slick on water. Yeah. But just use a dry microfiber to wipe over it.
Then I'm gonna do no pressure and just.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay, so we're gonna let that sit for 30, 40 minutes before I do any wax there.
The reason I just showed in this class, just to show how easy it can be to work with. You know, some areas of the body of a car is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's something you just got to learn, of course.
And if you look at the front of the hood,
Yeah, it's got a few scratches still that we didn't want them to take out. Just some light scratches. But if you look right here on the front of the hood, we're going to make them disappear with the film. As you can see right here.
So the film won't bubble up there and have a water spot?
No, something like this right here, yes,
Mm-hmm.
this would. But you're talking about something like marring and people going through car washes and stuff like that. This does help cover up a lot of that. So if you're actually doing paint protection or paint correction, always do the best you can. But if you're going to do film, sometimes you don't have to be as precise. That's one beauty of it, at least.
Even on black paint?
Even on black paint. We've actually did one in class, older Impala. On the very back, he had a bird etching on the trunk. It was a red, so it really stands out. Covered it right over.
Nice.
Couldn't find it. So and that was nice. So based on this, it's a water-based adhesive on the back. And we have a slip solution that David actually made up. We don't have this coated yet, but it actually works perfectly with the coating. So you can coat the car. We're making our sandwich. You got your bread down, put your meat, put some more bread on top, so you can actually coat the film. It works hand in hand with the film. Like I said, everything is in synergy here. So water activated adhesive, but you got the slip solution in it. You have to wet this down.
Is that baby shampoo in there?
No, sir. Not at all. Baby shampoo has glycerins in it. They reformulated baby shampoo, so if you see film that starts lifting sometimes, with the baby shampoo, it's not allowing to adhere in certain places. So the glycerins are always stuck underneath that adhesive, and then starts popping loose eventually. Found that out when I was doing tinning a lot, especially at the very bottom of the back glass. When you shrink it, the tint will start rolling up off because it was drying, but the lotion was not letting it stick. So normally we also wet the area that we're going to put the film on. Like I said, this is just a demonstration. So what people have, some new people, even say if you're outside, all of a sudden you get a gust of wind, which I do not recommend doing film outside, or you're handling a bumper by yourself. Bumpers are really tricky. They are got a lot of what I call little loose ends or dog legs. I teach people how to fold these. You can fold paint protection film and move it. A lot of people don't realize that. This is a little bit more forgiving. I can actually ball it up and still put it on and get most of this out, which a lot of people don't realize that either. It's not always done with. This is pretty extreme now. So I'm gonna put it on. Like I said, we're gonna cover over the area. Always with film, have your slip solution on the outside as well.
What is in that, Eleanor?
It's actually something that David made up. I told him what I needed. About 20 minutes later, he came out of the lab. So just basically just start squeezing the film out. As you can tell, I balled it up. You think that you would have a lot of creases and stuff in it. Funny thing you said that. But actually, make sure I always recommend cleaning the film up after you're done.
Always use this tip on the syringe. It's a must-have. They come with it. One that comes with it, and we have one that actually I came up with, but I never use. The only reason I came up with it is because there's other companies that sell these and people really like them, so we thought, well, let's improve on it. These are also double-sided. This, just so you know, you can use the other side. So, when we're using this, there's no point in putting coating over the whole thing. So, I'm a big guy. When I eat pie, I like to eat a quarter of it, as you can tell, especially apple pie. So I fill in a quarter of the pie. You do not want to press on this. You want to tap on it. If you press too quickly, this is a very small orifice on the end of this. It builds a pressure behind the orifice, and until it releases that pressure, you have a stream of Opticoat coming out of here. Now, it looks like I'm putting a lot on, but in reality, there's not that much. When we apply Opticoat, we want to go in a circular motion. We want to avoid high spots. We used primer polish, and we used paint prep to prep the surface. The paint prep actually aids in spreading the Opticoat. So we start in a circular motion. And when we first put it on, it goes on as a clear liquid. Where I first touched it, it was just a little heavy, that's why I'm spreading it out a little bit. Then it starts looking like an oil slick on water. When that oil slick on water starts to go back to clear, about 80%, that's when we eliminate the high spots. We include a pearl weave towel with the Opticoat Pro Kit. It is the best towel to use. If you're using gloss coat, we don't include a towel with it. Use a low nap towel. A high nap towel, actually, you need to apply more effort to the towel to get the job done than a low nap towel. So.
What about like a suede Yeah, like a
suede or
CarPro
waffle
suede.
leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, will work. So we're at about 60-70% at this point, and the higher the humidity, the faster it cross-links. OptiCoat does not flash, it does not evaporate, it's cross-linking into the paint. That's why you have no odors, you have no smell, you have no VOCs. You don't need to wear a mask. You do need to wear gloves. Gloves for a couple of reasons. You don't want hydrophobic hands, and I don't want your greasy hands on the paint. So, the high spots, we're basically not removing them, we're spreading them out. So the towel doesn't get wet over the application process. And we're done. 1 hour later, if you're doing OptiCoat Pro, you'll apply 1 hour or more. You'll apply OptiSeal. The reason, a gloss coat, same thing, will apply OptiSeal 1 hour later. If you're doing Pro Plus, you have a half hour to 1 hour window to apply the Pro Plus on top of the OptiCoat, or actually into the OptiCoat. That's why the 1 hour window. You're mixing them together, you're not layering one on top of each other. Once the three of the coatings have set for minimum 1 hour, we put OptiSeal on top. The reason for OptiSeal is simple. We tell the customer don't wash the car for a week. The OptiSeal provides a barrier against stupidity, so the customer washing the car. If they happen to drive through a thing of insects, we will want them to wash the car. So the OptiSeal will help protect it. The OptiSeal will actually be shed by the coating once it's cured. OptiCoat takes roughly 30 days to cure. It takes 1 week to harden, but the full curing takes about 30 days. At the end of that curing process, it actually gets glossier as it goes. So if you were to apply OptiCoat to one section of this hood, 1 week later apply to another section, a week later apply to another section, a week later apply to another section, the first section you did when you applied the last one, you could see a difference in gloss as you go. We do not recommend or condone IR lamps when you're applying OptiCoat. There's absolutely no need for them whatsoever. You can overheat something. As we mentioned in polishing, you don't want to get paint hotter than 140 degrees. Don't put an IR lamp on it. And it's not going to do anything positive to the coating.
All right, so we have Pro applied to these two sections. I just put Optimum car wax on this section. So again, we have OptiSeal only. OptiSeal, it's been about 45 minutes, topped with car wax. And then I'm going to do gloss coat only here and here. So I'm going to do gloss coat only versus gloss coat topped with OptiSeal, topped with instant detailing.
Still put the same amount on to start, but after that, your subsequent applications are less. So yeah, you'll probably have enough to do what you need to do. Gloss coat is a lot more forgiving. So half an hour later, if you see a high spot, rub over it, it will spread out. Now he's working with a small section, but normally we would want to do like a 6 to 8 inch diameter circle. Yeah. Has the same reaction, meaning it goes on as a clear liquid. It starts to cross-link, it looks like an oil slick on water, then you wipe off your high spots.
Oh, as soon as it looks like an oil slick, you're going to do...
No, you wait till 70 or 80% has
Oh, okay.
cross-linked.
So no, I don't want to come back and do it just so I don't miss anything.
No. As long as be very methodical in your first application. So with your circles, make sure they're nice round circles and you've got a good overlap going. And then when you move over, if you're doing a 6 inch diameter circle, move over 4 inches. So you have a little 2 inch overlap, and then keep doing that. And you have that other little section you want to do gloss coat on as well. You might want to add a drop or two. If you've used an APC to clean your leather, you want to re-clean it again with O&R. If it's a new car, you just need O&R to clean it. You do not want to apply the leather coating to a dry leather. you want to apply it to an O&R dampened leather. The O&R provides lubrication and will greatly diminish the incidence of high spots. If you're just trying to apply it to a dry leather, you can get high spots. It's hard to apply. So you want to use a dampened leather, not wet, but just damp. And you do smaller sections. So you'll do the seat bottom, the seat back, the sides of the seat, the headrest in sections. Just like Optico Pro. And unlike Optico Pro, this stuff has a bit of an odor to it. So you want to have all the doors open of the car. You want to do it in a well ventilated area. If you want to wear a mask, by all means, feel free. But just the ventilation of having the doors open is sufficient. So it's still damp, but I like it a little damper than that. And we simply apply it. And you'll notice it dries as I go.
You actually, if you get a little closer, you can actually smell it.
It will not affect the look of the leather. It will not affect the feel of the leather. It will not affect anything like that.
How is that possible?
It's bonding to the coating on the leather. We only apply it to coated leather. 99.8% of cars on the road are coated leather, which means it has a paint on it. Leather used to be, or if you buy Bentley or something like that, the leather used to be vat dyed leather, like a jacket. Your jacket is vat dyed leather, or your belt might be vat dyed leather, or something like that. Automotive leather since the 70s has been painted or dyed leather. Not vat dyed, but coated leather. The reason they do that is simply because the leather seating surface, so where your butt actually hits, is leather, but the side of the seat is vinyl.
Right.
And if you look at a car from the early 70s, the seat where you sit is one color and the rest of the seat is another color. That's because it wasn't coated leather. It was vat dyed leather, and it was vinyl for the rest, and the two react differently. One engineer at one point got intelligent. Why don't we just put vinyl paint over top of the leather? Then they're going to fade and they're going to age the same. This is not meant to go on leather. Even though we call it leather guard, it goes on every plastic surface, vinyl surface on the interior of the car, including the vinyl coating on your leather. It's going to prevent the leather from cracking. It's going to prevent the leather from chipping, from aging. Dye transfer is just not going to happen. Or sorry, it's going to happen. It's just going to wipe off with a damp cloth. So I wear black jeans just about every day of the year. I have a red leather interior in my car. I get in and out of my car. Sometimes my jeans are damp. I walk in the rain, whatever. My seats get black. Damp towel, they wipe right off.
And how long does it last?
We warranty it for 5 years. That's going to last longer than that.
Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor